Hi, everybody.
Hello, I'm Ryan.
I'm Bethany.
And we are Ryan and Bethany Board Game Reviews.
And today we're going to talk about Tiny Epic Quest! And this is published by Gamelyn Games. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you can see our videos as they come out.
You scare me with those sudden movements.
It's like I'm a goblin.
Yeah, right? Well, speaking of goblins. All right, so we're talking about the Tiny Epic Quest. This is a whole series of games from Gamelyn Games called the Tiny Epic series. And we are going to be reviewing each and every one of them over the course of this year. So we're going to be doing an extended series that we're going to sprinkle in throughout the months. And this is our first one. So we are pretty excited about it. This is kind of a push your luck game. It's spread out over a whole map of cards. And you're just roaming around trying to complete all these different quests, as the name would suggest. Complete magic spells, defeat goblins, pick up these cool items with your item meeple, which I'll show you here in a bit. Yes, so just let me show you what it looks like on the table. All right, here is our setup for Tiny Epic Quests. Now, this mat does not come with a game, obviously. It wouldn't fit in that small of a box, but it is a cool add-on and does help with the setup. All right, so we've got all these different maps laid out all over the board, all these different cards. Now, these four corners here, those are going to be where the players start. That's your home base. That's your castle. There are several other locations, such as places to fight goblins. There are what they call the grottos, where you can kind of gain some benefits. There are places where you can do spells and kind of move along your magic track. And there are basically shrines where you can gain maybe some items or some points that way as well. Every player has their starting card over here. It basically shows some information. First of all, you have a starting max health of 6. This little heart here is your health tracker. And then you have a maximum power of 3, but you can move both of those stats up as the game goes on. There are 3 legendary items that your meeple can hold. There is the sword, there is a shield, and there is a staff. And these meeples are not just regular meeples, these are item meeples. So, I don't know how well you can see that, but they have little holes for their hands. So, as the game goes on, you're able to earn these. These meeples get to hold these items, which is not only super powerful, but it's also really cool looking as well. How hardcore is that meeple? I wouldn't want to mess with him in battle. So every player has these legendary items that they are capable of achieving by going to various shrines at various times and upgrading those items on their own card. However, there are also all these different quests, hence the name of the game, up in the top left area of the board over there. Now, there are 2 kinds of quests. There is a movement kind of quests, and these say things like, have your meeples arranged in various ways on the board in order to get a certain benefit. And then there's also quests that give you items. So this one says, if you're able to finish this particular shrine, you're able to equip, in this case, the fairy. So all these items up here, these are more of those items that you can equip on your item meeples. They just basically hold them, and they get whatever benefit it says on their cards. There are 3 of those face-up quest cards over there, along with the deck, and there always needs to be at least one of each of those 2 kinds of quests up any given time. If not, you kind of keep on cycling through until you have at least one of each up there. Way up here, you can hardly see it, is the round marker. There's going to be 5 rounds in the game, but each round is going to consist of 4 turns. Now up here, those are all the different movements you can do. By foot, you can kind of go in any direction in one spot. By horse, you can go kind of laterally across the board any way you want. There's by raft, where you can kind of go up and down this way. There's a griffin, which lets you go diagonally anyway on the board. And then there's by ship, where you can kind of go from anywhere along the coasts and travel that way as well. Now, 4 of those 5 are going to be chosen each round, and every person gets to use those. So if when it's my turn, I choose by raft, I move my little meeple, that direction, everyone else also gets to use the raft, moving their people vertically on the board. So all that movement is called the day phase. So once all the players at the table have used all 4 of the movements, the day phase is over, then we go to the night phase. Now that's where the real action happens. This is a push your luck game, and the push your luck happens at the nighttime. Basically what's going to happen is everyone is going to, first of all, they're going to choose whether they are brave enough to adventure, or whether they are going to rest and gain some health. But basically, what you really want to do as often as possible is you want to roll these dice. By the way, this is the bottom of the box. It doubles as a dice tray, which is awesome. I love how this series of games kind of uses every little bit of the game as it can. So when you do go adventuring, when you roll those dice, first you're going to have to take some damage, possibly if you roll that particular goblin symbol. Then you get a chance to gain some of that power back that you maybe spent during the game. Then we're going to raise the magic level. The magic is over here. You can't really see that track that well, but basically what's going to happen is you're going to kind of grow on the magic track, and that's going to increase your ability to do spells later on in the game. All right, then after that, there's going to be torches, scrolls, and these attack punchy things, which is what, takes your goblins and gives them damage. The torches and the scrolls primarily are used to advance on your temple tracks. Those are going to be the symbols that you're going to need to advance some of those quests, and again, acquire some of those items on your card here, and get those legendary items, those swords and shields and staffs. Now, there's only 5 rounds in each game, so you really need to make the most of each turn. You need to kind of set up things, move people around during the daytime, get them where they need to be, so that at nighttime, when you push your luck, you're going to get the maximum benefits. And whatever anybody rolls, you get that benefit as well, or possibly that damage. So let's say in a 2-player game, if Bethany were to have rolled 2 of those take damage things, the first one would go to her because she's the one rolling, and the second one would come to me. But, however, if she rolled some torches and scrolls and things that were going to help those tracks, those would help her and me as well. There are a bunch of various grotto spots on the board, and some of them can be very helpful. Help you regain some power, regain some health, maybe deal some damage to the goblins, help you advance on your temple tracks. Those are very helpful if you land on those. The spells, now the way those work is they kind of have to work chronologically. You can't do a level 10 spell when you're only a level 1 wizard. So you kind of have to power up all your spells in order to get to where you can do more and more higher and higher level magic. Now, at the end of the game, there's a chart down here. Basically, it says, based off of how many spells, quests, and goblins you've attacked, you get that many points. And there is negative values for all those, and then you get some really high points up in the green range. So, if you killed 5 spells, it'd be worth 4 points. If you did, let's say, 7 quests, it's worth 16 points. And if you you killed 0 goblins, you'd get negative 2 points for that. And then also, all the legendary items, the ones that you kind of upgrade over here on your card, those ones are worth 4 points apiece if you are able to complete them. So at the end of the 5th round, whoever has the most points is going to win the game.
So I know Ryan already mentioned it, but I just want to emphasize again that the mat, is extra. It obviously does not fit into this. So it is extra, and it is awesome. You know how, I was like, that's extra. It's because it's awesome. That's not what that means. I am not a hip young child. Anyway, I really enjoyed the movement. I liked how that worked and how you could get almost anywhere, but you couldn't get everywhere with those movements. And so you had to be really strategic with them to try to set up so you can get to where you needed to be, or maybe the only person that you can move to get to the place you wanted to have is on a temple and you really don't want to move them right now. So I just really liked how the movement worked and how it opened it up just wide enough to where you couldn't do everything. You couldn't get everywhere that you wanted to get, but you could get almost everywhere.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the quests in this game. As the name suggests, quests are a big, big part of this game. I love the movement ones, trying to get all your people set up in certain places. That takes a lot of time, and you have to really utilize those movement cards well in order to make that happen. But then also there's the quests that involve you going down a temple and going down that path. And if you can coincide one of those with one of the the paths on your cards, so you can get one of those legendary items, it's even better. So you can get a legendary item and one of the other items that you can get from the temples. Your guy is going to be just carrying all kinds of cool goodies, and you can just roam around the board, just crushing it. So I really like all those items and all the quests. Pretty sweet.
So when Ryan and I first played this, I wasn't sure how I felt about it. I was kind of lukewarm towards it because I didn't feel like I was able to get anything done or set up what I accomplished. I didn't know if that was because I was just learning the game or what have you. And then we were able to play it again with my brother, and oh my gosh, that was so much more fun. I just think that this is a game that shines at the 3-4 player count. I can't speak to the solo version, but... Excuse me, but I think that because of the higher player count, you're able to do so much more at the night phase when people are rolling. So many more things are happening in a good way to where you can actually accomplish more. And you just get that sense of accomplishment when you have a higher player count. So I really liked that.
All right, so this game is largely push your luck. You're really kind of setting things up during the day phase for that night phase to just be tons of push your luck. I am not a huge push your luck person. I don't like pushing your luck in board games at all.
You just don't like not having control.
I mean, there's probably some truth to that. I like, having the outcome of the game be because of something I did right or something someone else did right. Not because of something I rolled wrong or rolled correctly or whatever it was, And so I think that, just push your luck's not one of my favorite mechanisms. So this game does have quite a bit of push your luck. So if you're like me, maybe this is going to be one of your favorites. And I can kind of already tell that as we do our rankings at the end of this whole Tiny Epic series.
We didn't say that in our intro. We will end this all with a ranking of all of them.
Yeah, and I don't think this is going to be the top for me personally. I think, way to tip my hat. But I know that this is just the mechanism. It's not the game's fault. The game does it well and has some cool luck mitigation. It's just I don't like push your luck mechanisms. I don't like that kind of that forced into being rolled, gambling your whole success on some dice. But that being said, I think there's some really cool things. I love the item meeples in this game. It's just so cool to just get those guys all loaded up. And it's hard to do, It's really hard to get a whole bunch of those items on those guys. The grotto spots on the board, those can give some really cool effects, can really kind of ramp everything up. And those help mitigate some of that luck too. So it's not just strict pure luck thing, but yeah. Like I said, I thought it was cool. I thought it was interesting, but push your luck, not my thing.
So I really like this game, and honestly, I'm just happy that I get to be one of the cool kids now who's played a Tiny Epic game. You hear everybody talk about them, and that's not true. We play tested one at one store once upon a time. I'm not going to count it. So we're going to say I didn't play any of them before. That's not true. I played one. But I feel like a cool kid now that I played a Tiny Epic game. That's right. Bethany, the cool kid, played a Tiny Epic.
Nobody please call her that. Please.
I'm one of the cool kids. So I'm really excited to go into this series and play all these things and see what they can do with it's a small box game. It's going to be really exciting. I do agree with Ryan. I liked it. I enjoyed it. The dice rolls don't bother me. I like all that stuff. I need luck so I can win. So that stuff doesn't bother me. But I don't think that this is going to be in my top, even though I did enjoy it. But you'll just have to watch all of them.
Yeah, this is that much more ceiling of how much more these things can do.
Yeah, exactly. You just have to watch all of them throughout the entire year, which is why you'll subscribe. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Well, guys, thank you so much for watching it. Don't forget to stay tuned to the very end for our pounds and inches segment. But until then, you can find us on Facebook. We are Ryan and Bethany Board Game Reviews. You can find us on Twitter. We are Ryan and Bethany 1. And you can find us on Instagram under Ryan and Bethany.
All right, everybody, stay tuned to the end for our pounds and inches segment. But until next time, we will see you later. Bye.
Bye. Hi everybody, thank you so much for staying tuned to the very end for our pounds and inches update. I am on a personal quest to be able to do 20 push-ups by the end of the year. The problem, I can't do one. So I'm actually doing 10 push-ups every day off of the wall and trying to work myself gradually down as I get stronger, get to 20, go to a different surface, yada, yada, yada. Anyway, I'm inviting you to join me today because I need all the encouragement I can get. I don't have any upper body strength, as you'll see. What I'm trying to do is as I'm going to do as I work further down. I'm trying to make sure to touch my nose every time, because that's what I want to do when I do real push-ups. And as you can see, as I'm struggling, I really don't have any upper body strength. I don't know what number I'm at anymore because I keep talking to you guys. I think that's 7, 8, 9, 10. Woo! We did it! Thank you so much for joining me with that.